Hey guys, today I just wanted to jump in and quickly show you a few updates in the new DaVinci Resolve 21 beta. And to be honest, the first couple I'm going to show you are very awkward. I'll be completely honest about how they work, as I don't really know what the use for them is. So let me know in the comments what you think. And then I'll show a few game-changing updates that we've been waiting for quite a long time. So the first effect I want to show you is AI Face Age Transformer. So let's grab it from the Effects tab and drop it onto the node. And it's very simple to use. First, we detect the face in the frame and track the shot, the same way we've been doing with the face refinement tool in Resolve. And once the face is tracked, I will turn off the overlay. And now we need to set the age of our subject. So let's say that she's around 30, so I'll leave it as it is. And now with this age offset slider, we can, as Blackmagic says, change the age of the person. So if I slide it to the left, she becomes younger. Just look at this, before and after. It takes a few seconds, which is actually really impressive, but also a bit awkward. You can definitely tell this is AI generated. And when I slide it to the right, we can age the person. And yet this looks a bit strange, right? And to be honest with you guys, I've never had a situation where I needed something like this. So I'm not really sure how would I use it. And also the most important thing, when we play it back, all three versions, you can see some noise and artifacts around the wrinkles. So this feature definitely needs more work from Blackmagic Design. Now let's move on to another feature called AI Face Reshaper. I'll track my shot again. And here we have a bunch of controls that let us reshape the face, kind of like in Photoshop. So we can change the size of the face, the length, we can adjust the chin, the forehead. We can even adjust the eyes separately. I can make one bigger and the other smaller, which, yeah, probably is not what we would want in real life situations while working on clips. And now let me also maybe modify the nose and the mouth. But again, guys, I honestly don't know why would I need this tool. And okay, right now I'm just playing around with it, but even if we use it for beautification, in my opinion, it can start looking a bit fake. And to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this kind of beautification in general. I feel like it can be a bit unethical, especially if it changes how a person really looks. So personally, I don't think I will be using this. Alright, so after these slightly awkward updates, let's move on to the tools that are actually very helpful. The first one is blemish removal, and I do remove blemishes sometimes. I'm not against it. Skin changes, sometimes it looks better, sometimes worse, so why not? I will zoom in a bit so we can see it better, and I'll drop the effect onto the node. And actually that's it. Look at the difference before and after. This is actually really nice. And we can adjust the strength, which is great. Before and after, just look how smooth the skin is. But again, since this is beta, there is a downside. When I play the clip, you can see some flickering. So for now, it works best on shots without too much movement, and this tool definitely needs to be improved. Now, let's move on to another updated feature, Magic Mask. I love Magic Mask, and this is something I've been waiting for a long time. As before, every time we made changes to the clip, like trimming or moving it around the timeline, we had to re-render the Magic Mask, which was really annoying. Now that's finally fixed, and here I already have my mask applied and I have tracked my shot. This is before and after. I am using it to add contrast only to my subject. So what we can do now, we can go to the three dots here and we can select Render Magic Mask in Place. And this creates a map. And now when I go back to the edit page and trim my clip, the mask just stays there. No re-rendering anymore. So for this, thank you so much Blackmagic Design. This is really great. And the last update I want to show you is called Cinefocus. So let me drop it onto a new node. And this feature helps us quickly create a shallow depth of field. So this is before and after. And now I can click on the area I want to keep in focus, like her face. I'm doing this on the clip. And from here, I can adjust the aperture to increase the blur. And I can also deselect the foreground blur if I want to have only the background blurred. And then I can also turn on focus picking, which is really helpful. It shows exactly what's in focus. And then I can use the focus distance slider to fine-tune it. I can, for example, blur my subject or go back to make sure that her face is perfectly sharp. And when I'm done, I'll turn off focus picking. And this is my final result before and after. And honestly, this is my favorite update out of all of them. Thanks so much for watching and let me know what you think.